Good morning, 7:36 at AM 990. KWAM, it's Memphis this morning. Time for Let's Talk Growth with Triumph Bank, Tracy Strickland and her guests. And of course, your host as always is George Bryant.
Thank you, John, and welcome to our studios on this beautiful Tuesday. We've been given, it's a great start to the week. I love this weather. This is not too humid, and the sun is shining. That is a great thing. And talking about great things, let's talk growth with Triumph Bank. We have Tracy Strickland, our host, in the studio. She also brought a special guest today. We're going to talk with Shelley Alley in just a moment. Tracy,
Good morning.
Just celebrated.
Forever. I'm so excited. We've been talking about this for weeks, but Sunday was actually the 10th anniversary from the first day that Triumph opened its doors to its customers.
Wow.
So
I bet a lot of fireworks
excited.
went off.
I know.
Yeah.
We're super excited.
Yeah.
It's just something that means a lot to us. We've talked a lot about where the financial world was 10 years ago, the fact that we're not only here but thriving and really trying to make a difference in the community. And we posted a video we have done a lot of videos over the past couple of years that feature our customers, telling their stories and how we've been able to make, maybe a little impact on their success and help them have a triumph. And we wanted to kind of pause for a moment and have some of our own team members talk about not just a timeline on what's happened over the past 10 years. I think anybody could read, history about that. But we just wanted to talk from our heart and tell our own story about what, gets us up in the morning and why we're motivated to work at Triumph. And so we'd love to welcome any of your listeners to go to our Facebook page and just look up Triumph Bank and watch our video. It's also posted on our website, triumphbank.com. And one of the things that we actually spotlight and talk a lot about in that video is our focus on really wanting to make an impact on the community.
You guys do such a great job, with that, giving back, getting involved. I mean, you guys roll your sleeves up and get in there. And
we try. It's been a lot of fun to see our team get involved. And one of our very first community partners we adopted a couple of years ago is Binghampton Christian Academy. And where I used to work, I was involved with the school. And once you go to that sweet little school, right, real close to Walnut Grove and Tillman, your life has changed. You get to know the teachers. You get to know these children that they just want love. They just want acceptance. They want to feel special, important, like any child does. But I brought Shelley Alley. She's about to celebrate her first anniversary at the school.
All right, Shelley.
Their director of development and communication. And I would love for her to give maybe a couple of things, a brief overview of the school. We can continue talking about that. But what intrigued her to join the staff there, too?
Well, I'm so happy to be here, and I just appreciate you, Tracy, and Triumph Bank giving us this opportunity to share more about our partnership, because the bank has really done a lot for us over the last couple of years. As she said, I'm with Binghampton Christian Academy, and our school is very unique in Memphis. We are a small private Christian school that a lot of schools are tuition-based, where we're really community-based. Our families only pay $200 a year for their students to attend. Now, that's if they have one child, three or more children. It's basically just to give them a little skin in the game, but the rest of it is really provided through community support. And so our class sizes are very small. Our average class size is 15 students.
Wow.
So we're really able to have a very nurturing environment. A lot of our families are refugees families. We have 65% of our students do come from African refugee homes, which means a lot of times English is not the first language.
Right.
And so with that barrier, they come to our school, and they're often, a couple of grade levels behind. And so coming into an environment that is much smaller, where the teachers can really focus on your needs and help building those foundations, has really helped them grow academically. But we are so much more than just that. And Triumph Bank has been involved the last couple of years with our residential program, which I think we'll
definitely talk
a
about
little bit about that. But
awesome.
The bank has really reached out to us and said, how can we build relationships with your students? And so that's always really exciting when we have a community partner that is really, wanting to invest
Once you're there, you just fall in love with them, and you can't help but want to figure out when the next time is you can go back. So,
boy, it's a lot of great things going on. We're talking Let's Talk Growth, Triumph Bank. Shelley Alley is in from Binghampton Christian Academy. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. Tracy Strickland, our host with Triumph Bank. You're listening to AM 990.
7:39 coming up on 7:40 at AM 990. KWAM, it's Memphis with Triumph Bank, Tracy Strickland. And guest this morning, here's your host, George Bryant.
Thank you, John. Welcome back to our studios this morning, like all Tuesdays, right here at 7:30 on AM 990. Let's Talk Growth with Triumph Bank, and our special host today is Tracy Strickland. I guess you're always our special host.
Oh, thanks, George.
We have a special guest in the studio,
we have a
though.
Guest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, welcome back.
Shelley tell the story about the school, and maybe want to tell the listeners about just like as far as how many students and the grade levels and all that, so they can understand the smallness of it.
Yes, so we are pre-K4 through 8th grade, and so we have about 134 students total in the school, and we have, basically one class per grade.
Right.
And so our teachers, are amazing, which all teachers are, I think, to go into that field.
Right.
But our teachers really go above and beyond just the classroom. We have an after-school program where our students get to do a variety of things. We have partners with Ballet on Wheels, Theater Memphis. We do music with Visible Music School. We do taekwondo. Of course, after school we have a lot of extra tutors and things like that come in and help. But our teachers are often there after hours and, really trying to invest in these children and, help them get to where they need to be. And because they have been there for a while, they've had siblings over the years.
And so
it's like the family dynamic. They, they're really enmeshed in that. And so that is another benefit our students have because, especially when you're dealing with language barriers, if you've had some of the same teachers year after year, you don't have those new hurdles that you have to overcome. And so our teachers and staff are really a special part of the school. The students are, my heart just, when I think about it, I'm already missed them. They're out for summer. But it's just a very home-like environment, I think you mentioned before,
and it's a good segue to the residential program. And I really want to talk about that because we've spent a lot of time at Triumph just really kind of focusing on those students. If you can think about being from a first grader through 8th grader. And like I'm not going to say his name, but one of their graduating 8th graders. So he's a Sudanese refugee, right? Yes. And then his mom is still in Africa. His dad is a truck driver and drives, crazy hours. So this residential program is a complete lifesaver to his family, to all these other families. And they can actually house up to 32 students, and they have a separate girls' dorm on campus and a separate boys' dorm on campus.
I was wondering if the students were nearby or they were having to come from all over Memphis.
So that is really one of the only requirements of our school is that our students have to be from the Binghampton neighborhood, and we have to have space. So that's really the only prerequisites. Our students in the residential program, like Tracy said, we've had around 31 students there per year, and those are really the higher needs students.
And they live on campus?
They live there during the week. They go home on the weekends. But they are able to get that extra help and attention and just, a positive home environment that is so important. You can teach a child so much in school, but if they're going back to maybe not the best environment at home or, their parents just aren't able to help them, it really stifles the growth potential they have. And so we are the only residential program in Memphis doing a program like this, and we have seen great advancements in our students. Oh, I bet. Especially even compared to our students that just can, attend the day school. And so we are able to provide them that round-the-clock, secure, nurturing environment and our students are really thriving.
Well, and the families that volunteer as dorm parents,
yes,
it's unbelievable. I mean, they I must have, not officially, but like they're family. They're one big family. They treat them as if they're their own kids. You know, go clean up your room. It's time for set the table.
There's chores,
they're just teaching them really strong, positive family values, and they just live there all week long. And the boys' dorm, it's a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Crutchfield, and they teach there.
They're teachers. So can you imagine? Your math teacher is also your parent. So
I don't think I'd like that.
You can't say that you don't understand your math homework. So that's not an excuse. But our teachers are great, and the Crutchfields, who are the married couple that operate the boys' dorm. It's just an amazing system that they have down, and it really is family.
It's incredible give back. We're talking with Shelley Alley with Binghampton Christian Academy, doing some wonderful things, and of course Triumph Bank giving back and supporting great things like this in our community. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more. You're listening to AM 990.
521.
Good morning, 7:53 at AM 990. KWAM, it's Memphis this morning. Tuesday morning, June the 7th, 72 degrees. Let's talk growth with Triumph Bank. Tracy Strickland and her guests. And there's your host, George Bryant.
Thank you, John, and welcome back. Our special segment we do on Tuesdays at 7:30, a chance for us to find out a little bit more about Triumph Bank. And also, besides the business model and how they do it so differently, very personable and cutting edge, but also giving back to the community. And I think you guys do a fabulous job. Today we're spotlighting one of your adopted programs.
Yeah, we love them. They were our first community partner we adopted. And I have to just stop and share a couple of stories because we've done lots of different things for the school. We started with donating shirts to each of the students 2 years ago, right at the beginning. We'll probably do that again. Maybe do sweatshirts or something this time. We work with our partner, Agape North. We buy all of our logoed apparel from them, and then they keep track of our purchases, and then we can, in bulk, present the shirts to the kids. It was a great way to have our team, get to have lunch with them and get to meet the students. But last Christmas, we brought some dinner to the residential kiddos, and it was the very first time that some of our team members had been able to visit the school. And I must always bring my sons, they're 12 and 7. It's just, after school, it's just, come with mom, and because you're going to be hanging around with kids, they love it. They're usually shooting hoops out in their courtyard and eating dinner and playing games and stuff. And had another team member that brought her son and daughter to the school for the first time. And so the girl just fell in love with these little girls. They became such sweet friends. They were eating dinner and sharing stories. And then they wanted to go tour the boys' dorm. So they gave us, Mr. Crutchfield gave us a tour of the boys' dorm. And the little girl just really got upset because she really wanted to see her little girlfriends that she had made. So we took her back over there. But then I saw my friend's son. He was hopped on the bed talking sports and school and whatever else little boys talk about. So it was just a super cool thing to see. And so I emailed my coworker. I said, thanks so much for coming and bringing your kiddos. And she said, when I got home, I want to tell you, my son just told me that was the best 2 hours of his life.
Oh, man.
And so when you can see your team impacted, and so we were completely motivated because we realized that there was a need. The dorm parents told us that they really needed new bedding for the school. I think we talked about that maybe on a previous show. But instead of the bank just writing a check, it's just there's been enough of our team around that they know how special the school is. And so from just personal donations, we raised enough money to buy new twin bedding for every single boarder student at the residential program at Binghampton Christian Academy. And we got to bring them dinner right after Valentine's Day. And then we let them open it, and they were super excited.
Oh, they loved it.
Oh, my God.
The girls the next day, of course, girls get very
excited. They got a little more excited than the boys.
About bedding, but several of them the next morning, they were like, you have to come over this afternoon and, see my new comforter. And it was so sweet, and they were so proud of it. And, that was just a really special way that I think the staff, the bank staff was involved because, that's their home.
It is.
And it's really, everyone likes something beautiful to come home to. And it was I just think a great way to show love to our students.
It
and
does.
We really appreciated it.
Well, I know they just had their graduation ceremony, and they have small classes, like Shelley was saying earlier, and they had 10 seniors, 8th grade seniors, and some of these children, because I'd volunteered years before, I have known them since they were in first and second grade, and to see them. And some of these boys, they're so tall now, and including the boy we were mentioning earlier. But I'd love for Shelley just to without getting emotional, because we were talking about it, but we were both tearing up yesterday, how special they make this graduation ceremony.
So being a relatively new staff person, it was the first time I had a chance to visit and go to our going forth ceremony. But all of our students write letters to both of their parents, and it's recorded and it's played during the day. And it was just so touching to see the maturity level of their appreciation for what their parents, had sacrificed. So many of their parents had no education in their home country. They had to flee war, and so their families value education so much, and so they're just so thankful for those sacrifices, to help bring them here, and also just support them and making sure that they're in a place they really can thrive. And so it was a beautiful ceremony, and it's just great to see, our volunteers there and just the full circle aspect.
Yeah, it just makes them realize that,
Well, Shelley,
the focus on education. It's just really the cornerstone of a great community. And
what a great story. Our listeners, how can they, I'm sure, this is a great example of what Triumph Bank is doing, or is there other ways? I'm sure you're nonprofit, so you need support.
We always need community support. I would love if anyone, is interested to come visit. We give tours all the time. Summer school will be in session soon, so you could actually meet some of the students. But they can contact me directly at hello@bcamemphis.org. They can also go to our website, bcamemphis.org.
That's great. We have one more thing to quickly talk about real quick.
Super quickly, as we celebrate our 10th anniversary, and it's summertime, and it's getting a little sweaty and hot, I got to say. It's getting a little toasty warm, and what's the best thing in the afternoon?
Ice cream. Ice cream?
Well, there's probably other things, but I love some ice cream. And so we're going to have Scoops Ice Cream come in all of our branches, and I wanted to let everybody know. So if you're wondering, okay, who is this crazy woman who's trying to talk on the radio every Tuesday? Come in and check us out. Come meet our bankers. Friday.
All locations?
Yes, Friday.
All day?
This Friday.
Come on.
2 to 4 in Collierville. Next Monday, 2 to 4 at our Poplar location. Next Tuesday, from 2 to 4 at our West Farmington across from Saddle Creek location. And then next Wednesday, the 15th, from 2 to 4 in Arlington.